Here's the problem that we have. So the seller is permitted to sell the Cybertruck only if Tesla opts not to execute a buyback. That's written in the contract when you buy a Cybertruck. For the first 12 months, you have to approach Tesla and say, would you like to buy this Cybertruck back from me? It's currently unclear if the seller completed this step prior to listing the Cybertruck for sale on the auction website Mannheim's, but they almost certainly wouldn't have done this because Tesla have said they would have bought it back almost certainly if they would have known about it. So if not, this seller could actually face a penalty from Tesla. It's written in the contract, by the way, 50 grand, 50,000 US dollars, or the sale of the sale proceeds on top of the price of the Cybertruck. So this means that legit, right now, Tesla could make a claim for 124,000 US dollars, the profit of the sale of the Cybertruck. And also the Cybertruck has a huge, significant demand with over 2 million confirmed orders on Tesla's books, potential wait times up to 5 years. This is why it sold for so much money. So Tesla began its deliveries with a launch event in November, on November 30th, if I remember correct, where 10 customers received their brand new Cybertrucks, basically, the Founders Edition Cybertrucks. And that was at the Gigafactory in Texas. So I'll be watching the Porsche dealership in Orlando, which purchased the Cybertruck, closely, just to see if they've got any plans for it or what happens, or if they write anything about it. I think basically half the world is looking at it because it's an interesting story. Interestingly, $244,000 that this sold for is not the highest price fetched for a Cybertruck. In October 2023, before Tesla began their deliveries, a Cybertruck actually, a Cybertruck slot was auctioned for $400,000 and confirmed at a gala event by the Peterson Automotive Museum, hosted by Jay Leno, where the winner received a build slot rather than the actual vehicle itself. And so that is actually not against any rules or any contract or anything. So that's really good. Sadly, though, I think this is quite disappointing. The range on the Cybertrucks seems to be far less than what was originally stated and what people believed. And all over the internet, people are kind of a bit disappointed about the range and they're complaining about it. Only the range, though. The rest I think they think is pretty cool, apart from the range. As ever, if you drive a vehicle that is shape of a brick, it's not going to be very efficient, is it? Much like my dad told me when he drove his Opel Manta, when he would drive fast in the 1980s, it became really inefficient and sort of struggled because of the headwind, and it was basically like a brick, and the front would get really light. So the front end of my Prius also got really, really light when I topped it out on the Autobahn a few years ago. That was kind of funny. Anyway, cleverly, what Elon Musk has said, and I would say he's just being business smart here. So whilst there is a lot of heat about this on the internet, all over, and in the media, he has shown to be kind of positive, saying, oh, it's worth more than that, or it's worth every penny, every cent. Then I suspect what will happen is they will take it a bit seriously when the heat of the situation has sort of died down a bit. It's most likely that Tesla will apply pressure to the original owner to pay what he owes or something like that. Tesla are happy to do this and to sue people, even if those people are customers or the people that are helping them be Tesla and successful. They've done it before a handful of times and they will do it again. I think they really will. So they also added last year on the end of their contract that they will refuse to sell you any more cars in the future if you were to do that sort of thing. So what do we all think to this? Do we think that that they will follow through with suing this customer? It appears that it was maybe a business decision from this customer, and this person is probably just going to sack off the letters from Tesla. If they sue him, they sue him. Maybe he's a sort of maybe it's a sort of foreign national or something, someone who lives abroad but runs a business here. They won't sue the business, they'll sue him abroad, and they're not going to chase him up for 5 years at a big cost if he's someone who lives in, say, for example, Portugal. I have no idea. I really have no idea. So I just listed a poll, probably a couple of hours ago actually, in the community section on the channel to see if you all think they will end up suing him or not. So check it out and vote. I always like doing my polls because it's really interesting to see what people think. I actually had a little look through some of the recent polls. One of them was very interesting. So battery cooling, I asked the question, do we all think that basically the default should be for any electric vehicle that we buy, other than something really cheap and nasty like a $3,000 brand new plastic rubbish EV, so an actual proper car you will drive 100 kilometers in, do we think they should have full, proper, air-conditioned, liquid-cooled thermal management on them? And I think it was 89% after this last couple of weeks. 89% of you have said yes, you think the same as me, which I'm very happy about, by the way. You agree, basically. Some people just think, it's not that big of an issue. You know, like you can get a cheap Peugeot or a Nissan Leaf, and if you live in a cold climate or moderate climate like the UK, and you don't abuse it in summer, for example, it will probably do okay for you, honestly. But it's not good if you are driving in, say, Scandinavia and it's -20, or if you're in a hot climate where the heat will just destroy the chemistry, even whilst you're not driving it. So thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I make EV news videos every day, and I recently just came back to Europe here, so I'm in this sort of temporary setup. This is not a long-term setup, and you've probably seen me move a few times this week. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Ben Alexander, and see you in tomorrow's video.